Okay, this is a sweet '07 G6 GT I picked up, convertible with the hard top. Just got it, which is part of the story, but I'm going to show you some stuff on the hard top. There's some issues. Well, you know, it could send that signal on the radio that top not secure, which I YouTubed it. Love YouTube. I got one guy on there with a video, so try to help me out. I had some issues with it, which I'll explain, but I want to show you a little more detail than he did. Some of his stuff was a little dark. Hopefully mine won't be, but he had his apart already too, which getting these things apart is a task in itself. So I'll go over a couple things and try to ease it up for you and help you get a little more educated on these things. So where to start? You can see I got this dash panel down same as he did. That's what headliner's out. I'll kind of show you some stuff on that, but basically it's pretty simple. Like he said, there's right there is where it locks this. There's an inspection plate in this right here. If you're looking at this thing like that, take that little rubber dubber out, and you know you can get to these bolts through there, but there's no need to touch these three here. Now you can see there's the hook. Where's my finger? Right there. So in his video, the issue was the hook wasn't locking down, which there's limit switches. Now there's no limit switches, and this is the passenger side. There's no switches that tell it where it's at. So that's pretty much irrelevant. You know, here's the bars he talked about. These pop off. You know, you could pop that off and do some adjustment there. You can see they've been marked with blue paint, so that maybe, you know, factory, this thing's a virgin, darn near 95,000 miles. So, you know, I was getting a top not secure code, and I was just baffled. I'm not good at electronics, so I thought the worst, but I got it figured out. So anyway, this one does have, you can hear a limit switch kick off in this one. Now I'll show you. Now there's the passenger side hook. That's got two limit switches in there. You can see the wires hanging down, and you can kind of hear them. You can see them once you get in there and get this apart. You kind of see now what if them are faulty. I don't know what to tell you, but you know, if you can hear them clicking a little bit. Basically, this one, the main one, this one, this operates, and this is in the center of the roof. Looking up, this one operates both sides. So theoretically, this bar could be bent or something, you know, but or it may need adjustment. You can see this one's got blue on it. Been sealed, adjusted properly there. So you know, and I'm thinking, how the heck do you? There's got to be a manual way to open these things. If this radio says, you know, send a code and says top not secure, well, what do? You got to tear this thing apart? No, not really. You know, I had an issue with the trunk not being secure, but if it's your top itself, let's say, like he said, you know, this wasn't, it was halfway, so he just moved it over, which kicked the switch and said, okay, top's now secure. But you ain't got to tear all this shit apart. Right here, this is Allen head here. Let me see if I get it. Sorry. So, and you'll see there's a hole in your headliner. So I can see that thing move. So I can secure it. If you ever get a code and says you know, and I'm only talking about these two top locks, but see, you can see it here. There's the, you know, little swing arm that comes, but heck, you could just stick a Allen wrench in here and make sure it's secure. Let's see if you can hear it. Hear that click? That's the limit switch. So now, okay, so I know this one's working. If you take it a little farther, you can hear that one clicking. Which that's got the electronics and knows. Passenger side, there's no switches, so it don't know where it's at, if it's locked or not. That's the one there. So, but, you know, this is a quick, you talk about quick fixes, you know, on my research. Oh, quick fix, you know, yeah. This is the quick fix right here. Turn it. See, you can see that switch right there opening up. Now I can open the roof, and actually you got to open the, so you know, I couldn't get you can't get this headliner out, not this headliner, but this thing here. You cannot get this out without opening the roof. So you crank that baby, open the roof, push up on it as hard as you can, and actually you got to get these things out right here. This, let's see, yeah, so this goes up in there like that. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes up in there like that. The only way to get that around everything is to manually pop that roof open. You can see, I'm going to show you the pin so you kind of know what holds this thing right here. You know, all these. And it kind of gives you, I'll give you an idea where they're located at. You can see there's two right around there. There's the center. There's the center of your lights. And, you know, dome lights. So there's two over that way, one by that switch. You can see it. Yeah, one right there, one there. So this thing will pop right off. But you got to pop the hood. You got to pop that to get this one off. That's the only way. I struggled with that for a long time. So manually pop the hood, and that will manipulate around. Actually, you know, these locking pins are actually holding that instrumentation, that one hard plastic panel up here. Now look here. You see this? That's in the roof, and there's push pins in there. So in this, and that's in the headliner. You got to get this out to get the headliner push pin. You'll never, you know, they come through this side, looking this way. So these push pins are in there, and you can't drop the headliner without taking this apart. And there was a piece here. This thing was up here. You'll see this in there. Whatever this is, I don't know, it's pretty heavy, but you'll see that in there. That's actually the wrong way. So you'll see that in there. It'll be in there like that. And the headliner's, you know, this hard plastic piece is still in there. So there's 4 bolts that hold it up there. You can kind of see, get my finger out there. But you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Take this thing out. You can't get the push pins out in the headliner without this coming out. And, well, yeah. I don't think so. But I'm kind of playing it by ear here, so this got to come out. This year, visors like they talked about. Them are pretty simple. Just look, you'll see some some areas in here, like in this thing. This is this headliner or whatever. We're gonna call it hard plastic. So there's one there and that one there. This one's got a Torax head, and this just had, this is the thing that the sun visor hooks on, only has a Phillips head. So you got to get them off. That was the easy part. I never disconnected none of that. So I'll show you. Okay. So you can kind of see there's arms up there. I don't know if you can see that arm goes back to there. There's no limit switches up in that stuff that knows where that arm's at. Only up in that one knows. This one knows where it's at as far as the hooks go. But I'm going to show you something here. Let me go with headliner. I'll show you these pillar posts. Oh, see, I get out of the sunlight. They're pretty easy. Get a look. You can see 1, 2. There's 3 clips in that thing there. So this is the passenger. So he's gotta come out, but you can see basically that just slips down in there. And then that's your pillar post cover. These gotta come off. So, and there's 1, 2. There's 3 clips. One up by the top, 2 in the middle. Bottom will come out. So show you that. Get them out of there. Now I'm going to show you the roof. This is the headliner. So I'll show you some clips. Kind of get in there. Yet, probably if you've ever taken these apart, you know you got to be careful with them. So this would be passenger side. 1 there, 1 there, 3 there, 1 in the very back, center. And 1, see I'm missing this one here, come off, just came loose. I'm gonna glue it back on, but and here's a, so you're looking at it like this being the front. Here's where them push pins are right here in that metal bracket up there. So you can see this one got tore. I got a little carried away with it. I ripped it. Let's see. Where am I? Right there. So I ripped it. That's what you don't want to do. So next ones, there's 3 in this one. There's three push pins in the front up there. Now once you get that plastic out, you might be able to get at these, but I highly doubt it. That bracket I showed you is in the way of this center one. So that being center, then you can see there's a couple in the back. Very back here. So I didn't know them were in there. Got a little excited. Took that one apart. There's 1 on each side. This one you can obviously see I tore. Where's my finger? Right there. So I tore that one. That's not good, but hopefully we'll get that to stay back. Now when you're looking at, forward of the car, there's that hole in the headliner. There's nothing, there's no rubber dubber nut in it. That's where that Allen screw goes in, just to lock your thing. So if you ever get stuck and want to, at least, you're getting that air top not secure, try that before you do anything. Because none of this is fun. Believe me. I'm not electrically inclined, but it was a little nightmare, a little challenge. It's more of a elimination. Try things, eliminate things, and this is what happened with me. This push pin was missing, and when the top retracted, it was hitting it a little bit. So it's got them big push pins. This is the rear trunk lid. So I thought, okay, I'll put the top up halfway, and you kind of see how these things open, but this being, up by the window, would open first back to let the top in once this is closed. So I took it up halfway. I come back and I stop the car. I come back and it's kind of sagged down a little bit toward the closing position. Well, it threw that computer all out. The top's not latched. Well, heck no, the trunk was halfway open. So we're getting ready for a little rain. I'm thinking, oh no. So I couldn't get it. That's when I tore that headliner and all that out. And I kind of knew it wasn't back there, not being secure, because I knew the trunk was halfway open in its mode to, I was opening and then I stopped halfway. So I knew the problem was back here. I tried that one just for kicks and got up in there, a lot of work, but the problem did arise back here, that my not secure code. So, you know, this is trunk being open now. I'm not even gonna put the top up and down. I'm just gonna try to show you what my issue was. There's limit switches. This is the passenger side. There's limit switches in here, and this one right here that knows the hood, the trunk lid basically come right off. So I could lift this up, trunk, this could come up, the other side could come up, and it just came out of these two pins. There's one here and there's one down there, and if it ever happens, you'll know that they got to be in them holes. We tried it and struggled with it, thinking how could it have popped out of the holes. Well, there's an arm in there that locks it right there. Just comes up. It's a hook, you know, it's like a hook, comes up, grabs it, and somehow it let it go when I was in that up position. So I didn't really know how this was supposed to look, but that's come to find out that was my solution, that hook. I had to pop the trunk. Get a guy to lift that hood up. It took 3 people. One guy to lift the hood up about where it's at, on that angle. I came in here through the side. I made sure both pins were, this pin and the other pin. Once, you know, if you take these things apart, you'll see them. The other pin was in location. Then I just manually, you'll figure it out how to get that arm to lock. So once I got it to lock, I went around the other side, locked that. We had 3 guys. Then I said, okay, let's close the trunk. So we closed the trunk, and then everything's fitting nice. I think we pushed down here manually, pushed this down here at the hinge, locked it, well, down as far as it would go. Then we closed the trunk and locked it, and everything fit nice. It just did. There's a couple grab bars in there. Let me see if I can get that open real quick. Pop that trunk back again. There's a couple of them grabbers down in there too, in that trunk. So they're still showing me a trunk ajar code. It didn't no longer said top not secure, because this back pin having the limit switch, you can see it's in there, it's inside there, it knows that pin's in that location. I'd be careful. I about tore my finger off. I'm gonna, where is that? Yeah, a big old gash in my finger from this thing. About tore it off. Because these are high pressure. There's a shock absorber in there, just like you know, a truck top or your car hood or something, and they're pretty strong. So that thing let loose and took my finger with it. There it is, right there, on the sides. And this is the silver one is the only one that's like hydraulic, electronic. It knows and pushes, you know. But this big cylinder here on the side is only a spring-loaded one, you know, so, like a shock absorber. So anyway, I wanted to show you this, but there's hooks right here, inside here, that'll come grab this top, and it knows. So we were still getting the trunk ajar, so we slammed it a little harder, and I pushed the button to call for the roof to come open, I believe, and when I did that, them come up, locked it, and secured it. then the top worked perfect. So yeah, these tops, they got, you know, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think you can't take them halfway up, then stop and go forward and take them back down. You have to complete the cycle. So this was basically, I knew this was on a down cycle. It was on a closed cycle. So I had to make sure whatever I did, it was going towards a closed cycle. And, you know, keep that in mind. If you're up, you gotta keep going up. You should be able to stop these things, but, you know, halfway up, stop, then complete the up until the radio says, you know, lift is complete or whatever. But don't try taking them halfway up, then reverse it and try going back down. I don't think it works. You got to complete that cycle. So, and all them switches back there know that what cycle you're in and where position of everything is in. So okay, I hope that helps. Y'all know that's got to be secure back like that. And that's all kinds of stuff in there I didn't have to mess with. There are no worries. Now, you know, if something electronically happens, I don't know, but if you're getting that top not secure, it don't mean it's up in the front. You know, that, because that Allen wrench would definitely, you know, lock everything down. So if you're still getting it and you're comfortable that all that this top roof is locked, and you can kind of visually see it is, you know, when it sucks down tight, then your problem's back here. And it's most likely this one, this back right there, that switch right there tells it. I could push that in with my finger because this was off, and I didn't know if it was off or what, but I figured it out, you know, that they got to go in there, these two pins, and that's got to lock. You got to clip that thing down and lock it, and spin it up and lock. But this is the one that knows top not secure right there. Okay, hope that helps. G6, now I'm in the G6 family convertible. Oh, she's a sweet ride so far. Leather seats, good condition. Somebody took good care of it. So you know, you can kind of see if you got a gap here, or you got a gap on the other side over there, then you know that these top latches up inside there they're not tight. So that Allen wrench manually, you ain't got to do all this unless there's other issues. You know, it just might be a matter of when it shows top not secure, is that you just need a little bit and you're done. Stick a wrench up there, give it a little crank, and you're done with it. So okay, thanks for watching. Good luck.